Hi children, this is your A. sir welcoming you to A. Academy. Today in our English for All examination series we read a very wonderful poem and the name of the poem is Footprints in the Sand. The name of the poem is Footprints in the Sand, written by Mary Stevenson. And this poem is for Telangana State second year intermediate students. So first of all let me talk you about the poet. Mary Stevenson was a Scottish born Australian. She was a political and community activist. During the Second World War, she was a commandant of Voluntary Aid Detachment number 750. She received several awards for her service, including one from the Red Cross. Footprints in the Sand was written in 1936. Mary Stevenson, it is believed, circulated handwritten copies of this poem to those who needed comfort. So this is a very wonderful inspirational poem. That means this poem would inspire us to do the things. So now let me read the poem for you. One night I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. Let me repeat. One night, I dreamed a dream. The poet very nicely used the word dream as a verb and as a noun. Dreamed, noun, verb. A dream, noun. Always remember, nouns, before nouns we have articles a. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord. Here as is a conjunction used to talk about the time. Generally, we use as to propose a reason. Suppose a boy comes late. We ask, why were you late? To say the reason, he uses a sentence like this. As I got up late, I was late. That means to propose a reason, we can use as a conjunction. Whereas in this sentence, as is used to talk about the time. So here we can replace that as by when or while, and we won't find any difference in the meaning. So as I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. Why was the sky dark? Because it was night. So on the sky, dark sky, the poet could see something. What was that? The scenes of his earlier days. So what were the things happened in the past? Everything he could see in a flash. That means you know the meaning of a flash. A very short interval. That means you take a torch, switch on and switch off the torch. Then light comes, goes. That is called a flash. Like this. About her past incidents, everything she could have a watch. Listen, we have three words. Watch, look, observe. These three words do not give same meaning. Look means what? Casually seeing something. Casually seeing something, we say look. When do we use watch? Whenever we see something which is moving fast. That means we watch a television. On television we watch the things moving fast, the photos moving fast. Observe means when we very closely see something. When we see something very closely, we say observe. So I think you got the difference between these three words: watch, look and observe. Here the poet watched what the scenes that are moving very fast were on the dark sky. For each scene I noticed two sets of footprints. Where in the sand, when we walk on the sand, we leave imprints of our foot on the sand. So the poet could see two sets of footprints. Where in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. So because there were two sets of footprints, the poet has come to conclusion that one pair of footprints belongs to God because the God was following her. Because the God was following, so the poet felt that one pair of footprints belonged to God and other one hers. Clear? I think you are clear. First stanza. Let me read the first stanza again. One night I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord, across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back. You see, whenever we finish something, we do revision. We do revision. In the same way, after seeing all the incidents that took place in our life, now the poet started recollecting everything. Looked back means she started recollecting everything. At the footprints in the sand, I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprints. You see, in maximum cases, she didn't watch two sets of footprints. In some occasions, especially when she was in a depressed mood, whenever she was in a bad mood, thinking about her loss or any failure, at that time she could see only one set of footprints. Then what did she feel? She thought, this really troubled me. This means what? Looking only one pair of footprints in the sand. That really troubled the poet. So I asked Lord about it. Listen, whenever we feel any doubt, we should not leave that doubt unanswered. We should ask either our teacher or our elders. So here God is there. So the poet wanted to get her doubt clarified. What was the doubt? Whenever the poet was in very sad moment or in a failure moment, at that time she didn't see two sets of footprints. She saw only one set of footprints. So she got a doubt at that time why she didn't able to see the second set of footprints, maybe God's. So she asked God, Lord, you said once, I decided to follow you. God, you said, what? You follow me, I follow you. You said, you follow me, I follow you. That means you follow me means what? If you follow the path that instructed by me, always I will be with you. Like that you said. And very sincerely I followed your word. I started following the path directed by you. You would walk with me all the way. You made a promise. But now I see there is a what? Breakage of the promise. You would walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during the saddest and most troublesome times of my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why. When I needed you the most, you wouldn't leave me. Oh God, whenever I wanted your presence very badly, at that time, you avoided me. Why? What is the reason? Did I do any mistake? Did I do any mistake by trusting you? Did I do any mistake by trusting you? Like that the poet asked the God. Clear? Suppose if somebody blames us like this, we cannot control our anger. Very sincerely I am saying, if the same question will be asked to me, I may lose my temper. But He is God. So, God would never lose His temper. Always He would be in cool condition. So, He whispered. Whispered means what? In a very less voice, in a cool voice He replied, my precious child, listen, you are very precious to me. Precious means what? Valuable. Nobody can calculate the value. You are my precious child. You are a very valuable child to me. Listen, always we keep valuable things very close to us. We do not leave that. So, you are a very valuable thing to me. How do you feel that I avoided you? I left you when you are the most precious thing for me. My precious child, I love you and will never leave you. You see, always I love you. Whatever the condition may be, whatever the situation may be, I love you. And this is a promise from me. You see, whenever we use will with I, that gives stress. And one more word is also there, never. This word never also gives stress. Listen, I do not tell a lie. I never tell a lie. Both are not equal. I do not tell a lie means in general conditions I do not tell a lie. If it comes to my life, I may tell a lie. I never tell a lie means though you cut my throat, I never tell a lie. So whenever you use never, you give more stress to that sentence. So the God says, I love you and will never leave you. And will never. There, more stress is there. It is very true. Whatever the condition may be, I never leave you. When you saw only one set of footprints, my dear foolish girl, you say that you saw only one set of footprints. At that time, do you know what did I do? When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. Listen, whenever we carry somebody, then that person's footprints cannot be left in the sand. That is the thing. Whenever you were in a trouble, what did I do? Instead of holding your hand, I carried you out of the troubles. That is the thing. You saw only one set of footprints and that set belonged to mine. That is the thing. So, my poor girl, I didn't leave you alone. Whenever you were in a trouble, what did I do? I carried you. I carried you in my arms. That is the reason you could see only one set of footprints. So, this is the poem. I think you understood today's poem. Again, in my next class, I come up with a new lesson. Till then,